Hey guys, and welcome back to another season of the Porsche Cup Car here on iRacing. It's 2024, back for season 2 here at Hockenheim with myself, Matt Emery, Coach Dave Academy for another season. Obviously, no rain yet in this car. Some of you might be glad to hear that. I don't know. Some of you might be disappointed. But yeah, let's crack on with the hot lap first and foremost. For another season here on iRacing. Okay, so let's get into the hot lap guide then for the Hockenheim circuit. Not a bad circuit, obviously a bit of a classic track. Obviously a little bit more runoff than it used to have. But you start your lap really in the last corner, just making sure you're opening up as much as you can for your qualifying laps, using all of the runoff you can as well. Down towards turn 1, quite a high speed corner, used to be really ballsy into turn 1, just carrying all the speed over the inside curb. So I'll just slow that down for you guys. You're braking just before the 100-meter board on the left-hand side. And then just keeping it onto the brakes and then trailing off. You can see on the trace in the middle of your screen. And then you're aiming for this orange sausage curb right in the apex of turn 1, just about your inside right tyre, just about here on the curb. Now this car doesn't mind that at all. It will just fly over the curb happily. Won't unsettle the car too much, and it just means you can carry the minimum speed through the apex of the corner. And then out to the exit of turn 1. Track limits are quite lenient here, so you can go all the way to the edge of this curb. If you go any further, you'll get an off track. So that's really where you're aiming for, to have your tyre, your left-hand tyres in line with this curb here. And if you go too far out, something to look out for, especially in lap 1, you will get a slowdown. So just be careful with that as well. But yeah, through turn 1, a lot of speeds all over the apex curb and using all of the track on the exit as well. And then down to turn 2, braking just at the 150-meter boards on the left-hand side. Making sure we don't brake too late. This is a corner that's very easy to lock up, so just be careful. Making sure you're hitting that apex. I would also suggest avoiding this curb, as it does unsettle the car on the traction, so it's just harder to get the speed out of turn 2. So I suggest going round the orange curb. Then on the throttle as early as you can, completely cutting this apex as well. Obviously this car doesn't mind that. And then full throttle onto the first long straight we have. You notice I'm also taking a really short line here, so I'm completely on this curb. It's pretty worth about 100th or so. But obviously every fraction of a second counts, especially in qualifying. It's just running this curb all the way down the straight. You notice the car actually gets hooked onto the curb as well, and we'll just follow it through nicely. Then into a very heavy braking zone, almost 100% brake pressure for this corner. So you're braking just before the 150 meter board. the car dives down, and you're just a waiting game. Really careful. Really got to be careful you're not locking up here. So play it through for you once more. You notice I'm just steadily increasing the pressure, peak about 100%, and then slowly, gradually come off the brake as well. If you come off too quickly, you're going to lock your tyres. The car doesn't like it if you come off the brakes too hard. Also, obviously, going on to the brakes as well. First gear, full lock, and then on the throttle as early as you can, and using all of that exit curb as well. Just play it through for you once more. So slamming the brakes on. Just being really careful not locking up, not turning in too early, obviously prioritising the exit as well, and then using all of the exit curb just to get all the acceleration we can. Full throttle then through this right-hander. You notice I'm slightly opening up the corner just on this entry curb, and then flying over the apex curb as well, and then going to as far as to the right as we can, as quickly as we can, just open up the next left-hander. You want to start braking just in line with this curb here, or just before this curb here. So that's your braking point for this corner. Also using all of the curb on the entry, just to open up the corner as much as we can. It did slightly miss the apex here. You want to be right onto that orange curb, just slightly to the right-hand side of it. And then got a bit of a tank slapper on the exit as well there. So just something to look out for. Just quite a difficult traction zone, similar to the hairpin actually. Just very easy to get on the throttle a bit too early. And obviously in a race, you want to look after your rear tyres slightly. So just bear that in mind. All over this left-hand curb as well. And then you can actually completely cut this inside curb, and this car doesn't mind that at all. You notice it does go a bit, unstable, but it's okay. The car deals with it quite nicely, to be honest. And then again on the throttle as early as you can. Ideally, again, you probably want to be just slightly more to the right of this curb, this orange curb. You can ride your left-hand tyres along it, but wouldn't suggest going fully over it like I did on this lap. As you can lose a bit of time. Also, if you go too far left, you can get an off track quite easily as well. So just something to bear in mind. Then into the stadium section, we've got a very high speed right-hander. Now, very important on the entry. Firstly, to just literally hug the wall as tightly as you can, just to open it up as much as you can. Carry that apex speed, also that minimum speed through the corner as well. Also, really important to make sure you get your right-hand tyres onto this green sort of Astro sort of tarmac area on the apex, just as you'll find it hooks the car nicely around the corner. And I found if you're not fully on here, you'll just understeer off the exit and understeer wide, and you'll lose a couple of tenths or so. So just make sure you're really getting as close as you can to this grass on the inside, as I am there. And then using all of this exit curb as well, the limit really is the gravel. So just make sure you're maximising that as much as you can on your hot laps. So I played it through for you once more, all over the apex and using all of the track on the exit. Then into a very heavy braking zone for the hairpin. Opening up to the right hand side as much as you can. Wouldn't suggest using this curb too much, just as it unsettles the car. It's very easy to also clip the grass as well. And then all about focusing on the exit. You can use the camber to your advantage as well. You see the circuit's slightly banked here, so you can use the banking to your advantage. Get on the power as early as you can. You're looking to get on the power just about halfway around the corner. On the throttle, all the way out to the exit curb, and then make sure you fully cut this apex as well, just to shorten the distance. And then into the final two corners. You're braking just from about here, from the edge of this sausage curb. You notice I'm braking in a straight line as well. So I'm doing most of my braking here, facing the outside of the circuit. And then as we go around the corner, just holding that brake pressure, so you still haven't let go fully, and while turning as well, all over the curb there. This is actually a really tricky couple of corners. It's easy to go too wide here and then have to slow down properly to hit the apex of the last corner. I didn't properly nail it on this lap. There's still a bit of time to find, and you notice you can also actually use this part of the track as well. Just to, the curb's a bit sort of, it's a bit of a step up from the tarmac there, so you can hook your right hand tyres all the way around there, and it sort of drags you around, similar to another few corners on this circuit. But yeah, using all of the track you can. and then full throttle all the way to the line. Obviously, be careful as well on the exit of the final corner. It's very easy for the rear to come round on you. So that's something just to bear in mind as well. Just getting on the power nice and gently. And then again, the limit here is all the way to the gravel. So on the throttle as early as you can. And that completes a lap of the Hockenheim circuit. So that was the hot lap guide then for week 1 of season 2 for 2024. My name's been Matt Emery with Coach Dave Academy. Obviously, make sure you check out the website, coachdaveacademy.com, and the Discord. Any questions you've got, then just give us a shout on there, and someone should be able to help you. But yeah, we'll see you next week for week 2 in this Porsche Cup car. In the meantime, take care, guys.